In our last video, we celebrated the winter solstice, and now the days are at their shortest, and it becomes apparent why an invention like the light bulb is so iconic. However, we're still a good 6,000 years away from this invention, so we're gonna make the first predecessor to the light bulb, the oil lamp. For this, I'll need a source of fuel, build a machine that can apply enough pressure to extract it, construct a wick, and a vessel to hold the fuel. My goal is to produce enough light to work by after the sun is set. Let's see if I can pull this off. Everything we use comes from 8,000 generations of collective innovation and discovery. But could an average person figure it all out themselves and work their way from the Stone Age to today? That's the question we're exploring. Each week I try to take the next step forward in human history. My name is Andy, and this is How to Make Everything. But before we begin our quest, a message from today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is now available to play as a PC and Mac game. It's the same core RPG game from Plarium, now with extra graphics, animations on your computer. With the cross-platform ability, you can play it on your PC or Mac at home. The download registration runs really smoothly. It takes only a few minutes. You don't need a super powerful processor or even a gamer's computer to enjoy all the speed and graphics. What I really like about it is how quick and easy it is to install and jump right in and start playing whenever you have a few minutes to kill. And best of all, the game is free to download and play. The community is super active. There are already 15 million players in the game worldwide. People are talking about it on YouTube, Reddit, and the forums, so there's a lot of help getting started. You can start playing right now by hitting the link in the description. Make sure to do it there to get 50,000 free silver and a free epic champion as part of the new player program. Previously, before the reset, I explored a variety of ways of making candles from animal fats, smells horrible, but looks good, beeswax, and attempted to chemically process seed oil. However, right now, we've developed ourselves up to around the year 4000 BCE, and are still just before the believed invention of some of the first forms of candles. Oil lamps, however, have evidence to suggest their use by at least 10,000 BCE. So let's start this at the very beginning, and for that, we'll first need an oil fuel. One of the first vegetable oils humans started using came from the olive. While visiting California a few years ago to film at a vineyard, we came across a patch of olive trees. To all my haters on YouTube, extend an olive branch. Stuffing my pockets full of olives, before our flight back, I'll need to supplement my supply with some more olives to get a usable yield. So I'll be starting with 11 pounds of olives. If using a modern press, my yield should be around 1 liter. But I'm gonna need to build my own makeshift primitive oil press machine, which will present some unique challenges. In the past, I've pressed a wide variety of different oils, from sunflower seeds to cacao, most often using this simple device, a screw, which applies a maximum amount of force. Unfortunately, with the reset, I'm now operating within the rules that put me in an era when only half of the simple machines have been invented. The classic 6 simple machines you might have learned about in school are the inclined plane, the wedge, the lever, wheel and axle, pulley, and screw. Currently, we're at around 4000 BCE. Only half of these have been discovered or invented. A few have already been utilized in our projects, such as a wedge in our various axes. And in a few videos, we'll be crossing a major milestone with the invention of the wheel and axle. But the pulley is still believed to be 2,000 years away, and the screw 3,000. So to apply enough pressure to extract my oil, I've limited to a few options. I can either use a really big rock, or if I want to maximize the force, I can use one of the other simple machines, a lever. I'm going to kind of recreate one of the old lever presses to try and press my oil. First, let's start by carving the base plate of the press that will collect the oil. The base plate of the press has a circular groove to collect the oil and allow it to drain in a single location. Then for the lever, I have a remaining portion of the elm tree I previously cut to make my own bow from. Next, I'll need some rope to tie everything together.
So I've set up a very short rope walk here to try to just test make a length of rope. I've got 3 loops, so this should be a 6-strand rope. I'll twist each one individually, and then that should make them all want to twist together into one solid rope.
Most examples I've seen of lever-based oil presses use a stone wall as their fulcrum, which I don't have. So I'll try to make do with a stump and a heavy rock tied to the top of it. We'll also need some fiber pads to layer the olives between, so multiple levels can be pressed at once. Then layer wax to waterproof them so they don't soak up all the oil. Now to finally make some oil. The process is a two-step process. First, we start by milling the olives using the saddle kern stone we previously made for grinding grain.
Delicious. Just do that a lot more times. I'll get all the juice on you, sorry.
Now, to press the olive paste. The lever mechanism works using a lever in basically the opposite direction of a wheelbarrow, where the longer handles allow you to lift a heavier weight by lifting the handles over a longer distance. In the adverse, we are pressing down with heavier weights at a further distance, pressing down with much greater force closer to the fulcrum, meaning our 70-pound rock can be amplified to apply over 200 pounds of weight. Let's get back to the olives. Then the olive paste is packed between layers of the fiber mats on the press. The heavy stone is placed on top, and then slowly more and more pressure is added by applying the lever with a heavy rock at the end. Then we just collect and repeat the process again and again. A large amount of the juice that's collected is water, so after it settles, I can pour off and collect the top layer of oil. Now we just need the lamp vessel to hold the oil. Through most of history, these were usually done with ceramics, but I want to try something a little bit more advanced with bronze and create a more iconic oil lamp. and at least constructed one out of wax that we can use the lost wax method to make a mold out of. After wrapping it in cob and drying, the wax can be melted out. A quick patch job with clay, and then packing it with sand to reinforce any weak spots, we can hopefully salvage a cast out of all of Annalise's hard work. Then for the wick, using the one last remaining cotton plant I have from the batch I grew several years ago for a t-shirt. It's lit. A little portable light source we can take with us anywhere. And altogether it took about 28 hours to make the lamp itself, the casting, and processing all of the olives. With minimum wage, it just got updated this year. It puts it about $230 to get this lamp. We went through about 2,000 olives, or 12 pounds. Altogether, we got a yield of about a little over 600 milliliters of olive oil. It's like almost 3 cups. With a modern press, you'd probably get about double that, so it's not quite as efficient. The oil lamp continued to be pretty popular. Candles were invented afterwards. Both were kind of the staple for lighting sources until invention of the light bulb. This is more of a Middle Eastern style, comes a few centuries later, but it's a little bit more iconic as it's the genie lamp. You don't really think of it in this way too often, so I thought it'd be fun to do. But the olive oil itself is a pretty important item to be able to produce. It has multiple uses. It's useful as both a fuel source. You can use it to cook with, you can eat it, you can use it as a lubricant. It's useful in soaps and a bunch of other items. So very valuable and very useful and will be coming up in a lot of future projects. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and check out other content we have covering a wide variety of topics. Also, if you've enjoyed these series, consider supporting us on Patreon. We are largely a fan-funded channel and depend on the support of our viewers in order to keep our series going. Thanks for watching.